We're at the beautiful Torrey Pines this week for the Genesis Invitational. We're about to build Mr. Collin Morikawa a brand new Qi35 LS driver to test. I've got the spec here in super detail. Collin is currently first in strokes gained tee to green, and with a 78% number, he's second in driving accuracy. We're going to whip this up here, take you through the process, and then walk it out to him on the course. Collin Morikawa has been driving the eyes out of it this year with the Qi35 LS. He is ranking 78% of fairways hit so far this season. The driver he is using is going to be a 9-degree actual measurement 9.5. On the Tour Truck here, we have all of the actual lofts written on them. This is a good head to start with the cherry picking process. Early testing of this driver came in the back end of last year. Collin likes to hit a little left to right peel golf shot. One of the things he loved about this is that the LS has weights that you can move around the head. So we were able to position them in a place that gave him a ball flight that offered the start line that he wanted, but he was able to shape it so that he could get that accuracy that we've talked about. Lie angle is critical. We've got a lot of options here on the Tour trailer for various sleeves, as you can see. Collin's going with the 1.5 degree sleeve. Whenever you set the lie angle for these players, that's going to help you with your start line and how it sits to your eye. So once you've cherry-picked the loft, then the lie becomes crucial. This is what our reps work on all the time so that a player can get a good look down at that, give them confidence to then provide some of the stats that they need to go on and hit those great approach shots. As we move through, he's in the 60 in the Diamana D+ TX that he's played for a long time now. And he's going to go with a 1-inch tip to get him going. When we measure these golf clubs on the truck, we go through all the tools that we've got here to get it absolutely right. So gather all your components and then you can assemble it perfect for the player. Tip cutting is going to give the driver a feel for the player to impact the spin. It marries up with everything else we've gone through, be it face angle, loft, lie angle. Those things are dictated early on. Then you go for, in Collin's case, a 1-inch tip that is going to give you a perfect feel for the player. So we start there, then we come to measure the rest of the golf club. As you cut this, you notice how I'm going to twist on the circular saw. You don't want to go through the fibers. Perfect cut. You get a slight burr. So you're just going to touch the end to start to get rid of that. Now, as we take our loft sleeve, notice here that it comes up to a point in the golf shaft. I want to tip grind so that the epoxy can help this loft sleeve bond to that with no concerns. So I do it as a visual. Any club builders out there, if you're concerned about that, you can stick a mark on, get everything right, measure twice, cut once. Now you'll see a lot of club builders will scratch away at that. I'm only trying to remove the paint. So once I've done that, I can get a good bond going between the two. Put it into that neutral position that he plays. Notice here, right hand sleeve. Again, that works as a copy of Collin's driver. Tighten this up. It's that 1.5 degree sleeve. And at any point on the truck, the boys will often just check that they're achieving, when they look down at it, the face angle that they want. Remember I said Collin is looking for that peeler that starts down the left and cuts for him. So we're always trying to go with stuff like that. Again, that's why the truck runs with the lines through it too, so you can see what square is and get everything exactly where it needs to be. End of grip, he uses a Tour Velvet, a 58. 58 is going to be the width of the grip. That's what he plays. The reason I need to know it's a Tour Velvet, and I'll grab the grip for you, come take a look at what we've got in here. We carry all of the guys. He's actually just changed for this. So he uses a Tour Velvet round. So he's going to be in the Scotty Scheffler realm because he's just changed. Let's just 100% check. That's a rib. You can see it's a very popular grip. 58 round. So it's got the little R on there. Change the configuration of his grips and change the type of grips he uses on the driver. Now this grip, because we've done so many of these on here, we know has an 1/8 of an inch on the cap. So it says Length is 45 1/8 end of grip. So when I'm fitting this grip and building this golf club, I can cut this at 45 to give me the exact on the length. You've got a USGA housing here. Come take a look at this. You can notice that we've got a line at the bottom where this is going to sit, but the middle, if I slide this in there, of that driver goes totally to the top end of the ruler. So if you come look at the bottom here and get right in the back there, then you can see that everything sits right to the middle. Remember I said 45 is going to be the length that we go off? I mean, that's a pretty good mark with the Sharpie that I've written in there, that we're bang on 45, but sometimes we'd go as far to say with the circular saw that you want to hit the top of the line or the bottom of the line. I'd say with this, I want to go straight through the middle. It's all crucial because I talked to you about the Qi35 LS having these movable weights. That's one thing. In addition to that, I'm going to get onto a swing weight, which is a balance point. So all of these weights are impacted by the length, which is why each time I have to make sure everything is absolutely spot on through the process. Tour players at this level, driving the golf ball that straight this is what makes it, how accurate they are with the build spec on their clubs. And being able to do that on here is the whole purpose of the truck. I'm going to place it in, hold it, and then just gently turn. Well, I've made golf clubs on here quite a while, but it's always a way of, you don't want to be moving the golf shaft. Just take the burr off. That becomes important later on for the simple reason of popping the grip on. Everything is a preparation for the next step. Now, Mr. Wade Lyles, it's his trailer. I'm on his side. He's not around at the moment, which is good. He's left some glue here, probably from a build of irons or something. It's got the shaft beads in it. I don't have to remix that. We've got our curing cell heat going on, which is here. You can see it's going to go for 2 minutes 45. At this stage, you just get a decent coating of the glue. Don't need tons. Scoop a little in there. And that's why this maintains remaining soft for a while. At this point, align up your graphics. On this particular shaft, they're going to look great. Grab this, ensure it's gone home, which we're good. And then it's just a point in taking pride in your work here now. Clean, good, check that, good. Unlock this. Boom, set my timer. Whoa, start timer. There, moving at the top, perfect. He has some weights, a specific weight set up for him. 7 toe, 7 heel, 8 at the back. So 2 7s, toe and heel for neutral. Again, I said he likes to have a right to left, a left to right ball flight, and he feels with this driver that with this neutral setup, he can get that for him. Again, that's important why you guys need to do fitting out there so you can get it right for your game. We're looking for a total head weight, I think I've got it on here, of 199. So we'll see if we can hit that, and that should give us D3. I think the interesting thing here as we talk about fitting, you can now purchase these movable weights. These weights are available to you when you're out there trying to dial your driver in. So as we go through this on the tour with the best players in the world, you can now do this for your own driver. Something that's new to TaylorMade, that we've offered this many weights. You can see how many weights we've got here on the trailer. Some of these top ones are for irons, wedges, goes through to fairway woods. But if we've got all these options for the best players in the world, then we want to have them for you too. So I'm removing the 3s at the front. Just check my time. I've got 27 seconds left on there. So there's no rush at this stage. So this will be dry now and ready to hit, good to go. Obviously, once built with a grip on, it's going to be literally ready to play, which is the great feature about the tour truck. build this back up. Notice how I'm not putting my hand on this. This will be hot. So keep my hand away from that. I'm going to pop the grip on, which is now 1.5 tapes with a 58, and he has logo down. You can see that on here. Then I'm going to come back to swing weight it. And I mentioned he's just gone to 1.5 tapes. One of the interesting things on here, you can see that he's been in various combinations for his woods and his wedges with different tapes, configurations to what he wants the feel of. The way we measure that on the 1.5 tapes is take the Tour Velvet that we're working with, go halfway, break that off. How far down is this going to go? Well, you can measure roughly into those graphics. And you know then that you've got the half measure of a tape to build up and reduce that taper into the right hand. Now, as we fit these grips, before I slide this on, it's a round grip with the logo going down, but still I want to make sure, just really out of habit, that the blade is perpendicular to the left-hand side of the truck. You can see the decal looks good, because right now I'm going to put the extra tape on before we slide on the grip. So we know this goes all the way down to the bottom. Important you don't get any ridges in here. Looking good. That's perfect. Now, I know in the past that sometimes for Wade's solvent on this side, you got to be Superman to get it on, so I'm going to go with 2. See how we get on. Now, that was easy. I know I've got to go to the tape to get the grip the right length. Check a line on the top and the line down there are good. So I'm looking at that. Don't want to overstretch that, but just to confirm it, again, you want to get the build correct. Take another grip. So my tape was put on. There you go. Then I'm checking the length, spot on. Everything is on hand, be it anything to clean the clubs with, to grab, to wipe away solvent, the different tapes. Always worth checking at the back that the decal is lined up good, which it is. Then it's just through to swing weight. Now, this process is probably the most important one of the whole thing. Reason you don't want to sleep on this is because it's the balance point of the golf club. So I think it's overlooked by so many people out there. Again, hence why TaylorMade is adding now these movable weights into the fitting process for you guys. Also, if you want to buy them, you can, because 2 grams in the head is going to be 1 swing weight. 1 swing weight is going to be, if you're a really good player, you're going to be able to feel that. It can impact the ball flight, impact the feel. Certainly at this level, but you will have a favorite golf club out there that you use, and that will have a specific swing weight, which is going to be a letter and a number. And that balance point is going to be crucial for you. Pop that on the scales. We're looking for a letter and a number. Perfect. And then I want this to just come into the middle to show me that I've got that perfect balance point. Again, remember, the LS, the Qi35 LS, has all these different weights so you can move them to get the perfect launch and spin you want. By adjusting those weights, you impact all of those areas. Final point, I almost went there too soon. Obviously, I want to wipe off any of my own work on here where my fingers have been on. This is going to one of the best players in the world, so let's make sure that that looks spotless. Also get rid of that little mark we had earlier that was marking the distance for the tip grind. Job done. Then grab a head cover. And there you have it. That's the process we use here on the Tour Truck for the best players in the world. Obviously, you can get close to this too now with all of the weights that are available to you as the consumer. More of a fun thing in this process is we want you out there to get fit. If you want to know more about fitting or get fit, please go to the TaylorMade Golf website where you can check it out. There's also a ton more information on the Qi35 LS and the Qi35 driver from TaylorMade.